Good evening. How are we all doing? Cheers. I'm congratulating myself for getting to Wednesday, Wine Wednesday. It's not normally a Wine Wednesday, but I fancied a glass of wine tonight. Anyone else joining me with a glass of wine in their hand? Or if not, what is the tipple that you've got in your hand? I said tipple. And where are you joining me from? Do say hi as you're coming in. I know that this is sometimes like a weird thing to talk about, and people are just a bit like, what? Why are we talking about this? I'm a bit uncomfortable with it. I'll watch with one eye. Not the wine thing. This is literally the first glass. See, no lipstick round. First glass. I'm a savvy bee kind of girl. So I've got a little savvy bee tonight, and I thought, you know what? We'll have a little chat. Because I did some stories. Hi, Jack. Good evening. I love Jackie. Hey, here she is. I saw your stories. You've been out on the town. Yeah, it looked amazing, by the way. Ali's been to London. So, good evening. I think sometimes it's nice to talk about this stuff. Sometimes it's good. Oh, everyone's flying in now. Let me know if you're joining me with a vino or what your tipple is. Or maybe you've got a soft drink, and that's absolutely fine too. I've normally got a cup of tea. Go wild tonight. Figure like if we're going to talk about money, then it's like good to like have a little bit of courage. I'm normally a bit of a sissy, although I'm direct, honest, don't mind talking about anything. Sometimes I can be a little bit like, I don't really want to talk about that. It's a bit cringe. But when I put my stories on this evening, just kind of sharing. Because I've been having lots of conversations with people who are building their businesses, and Ali loves money. I love that. We love money. What are you talking about? We love money. But lots of people are not motivated by money, yet the goal is always kind of surrounded by money. Because sometimes, even if the goal is more time, in order to get more time, the goal has to be money. I started my entrepreneur journey in network marketing back in 2013. And as much as my goal was time, it was time at home. I didn't want to go back after maternity. In order to do that, I needed to replace my police wage, and that was 1,600 quid a month. So as much as my motivation wasn't money, I needed money in order to get to my goal, which was time, actually. And of course, while you're building up that money, do you always have time? I didn't. I had to make some sacrifices, but what I didn't sacrifice was the time I spent with my son. I spent more time with our William. He meant a lot, getting mixed up with the other one, can't remember his name. I spent a lot of time with him, so I didn't feel like I missed out. Hola, hello, Donnie. We need a ton of money just to see in the dark right now. I know. In fact, online at the moment, a lot of people are talking about money. Hey, Shell, good evening. A lot of people are talking about money, and it's because the cost of living is going up, right? The cost of living is going up. Income is staying the same. If not, they're freezing it. I mean, we stood on the doorstep tagging any nurse friends because I just want to say, you're amazing. How you don't strike or like ride naked on a horseback or something to try and get changes is beyond me. We all stand on our doorsteps clapping you, and they can't give you a pay rise. Like, it's outrageous to me. However, I digress. We're all talking about money a lot because cost of living's going up. I mean, my friend posted the other day, I think it was her electric bill had gone up by over £200, £213, I think, in a month. I mean, where do people find that money? Lots of people find it in extra income stuff like network marketing, like building a side business, like selling on Etsy. Like, I have a lot of friends, clients, people who are members in my Impact Academy who have Etsy stores. They make things and they sell them on Etsy. In fact, I have an amazing friend, Nick. It's called the Little Yorkshire Home, if you want to go and check her out. She does the most gorgeous like wire signs, things for the house. And she's built up, I'm sure she's 6 figures plus, doing that. She was a police officer. I think she's just left the police, actually. But I cheer people like that on because I think, good on you. You've not taken the stance of like, well, it's for other people earn that kind of money. Doesn't happen to people like me. Be honest, and you can comment or you can just forever hold your peace. But be honest if you think that you're just someone who that's not going to happen for, or to, or you're not going to be able to. I'm not saying you've got a bad mindset that you don't think you can make things happen or whatever, but just be honest. Like, is that how you feel? Do you feel like this is just not going to happen for you? Like, big things are just not meant for you? And tell me why. Why do you feel like that? Or where do you think that comes from? Why are the companies getting bonuses and we are paying for it? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but it's life, right? Life is crazy. So let's talk about money. Again, I'll take another sip of wine. Who's got the tea? Jackie's got the tea. Anyone else got the wine? There's loads of people on, but you're not telling me what you're drinking. Maybe that's a bad thing. Emma, it's Wednesday. It's not Wine Wednesday. Okay, I want to talk about multiple streams of income. So I do speak to a lot of people who are building these businesses, side businesses or full-time businesses, and they talk about money. And I feel like we all have this figure in our head, like, oh, they must be earning something like that because that's crazy wild money. And how do they do that? You can watch others get there, or you can take action and get there as well. I just need to take more action. Shell, I get it. But sometimes you can be a little bit hard on yourself. Sometimes. Fiona posted out your stuff today to you. It's on its way. Peggy's on the tea. Oh God, you've really all shamed me. Well done, Peg. So I feel like sometimes we build things up in our head and we don't understand where people's incomes come from, or we think they earn like loads more than what they do, or we think they earn less, or whatever. And I think sometimes it's cool to just like get it out there, like these are my multiple streams of income. This is what I bring in. Do you need me? No. And this is how we do it. Yeah, you can have it. I don't want it. Oh, right, okay. And this is how we do it. He was coming in for a bottle of red wine. I had white, and that's not his cup of tea. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. Lots of people think that when we talk about multiple streams of income, this means that you have to have money to invest in lots of different things. And one of the things that I talk about a lot with people is that there are lots of businesses that can be set up with very little or even no investment. I mean, sometimes investment of time, but not necessarily a massive financial investment. On the water, Mary, well done you. And Jackie says, I used to have the best luck in life. Money, job, house, social life, wanted for nothing. But the last 2 years have felt like a full 360. Has knocked your confidence in business a fair bit. Oh, that is normal. When your confidence is knocked, this is hard. I'll tell you something about that. If I forget, remind me. But when your confidence is knocked, I'm going to talk about the self-trust mindset, because that's what's affected when you have a knock of confidence. Someone puts you down. I've just sent out an email. It's going out tonight at 9 o'clock. If you're not on my email list, you'll get it. I talk about this actually in there, so I might not need to touch on it now. If you're on my email list, it's emmacooperonline.com/email. And I sent out an email. That's so weird. At 9 o'clock tonight, I think it's going out. So in 6 minutes time. And there's one of the lessons that I talk about on there, Jack, is the self-trust mindset, which is if you've had a knock, or if someone says bad things to you, or you haven't achieved a goal that you set, or maybe you haven't achieved all of the goals you've ever set, then this can really affect that. And I give some tips on how to overcome it. So you might want to read that one. Multiple streams. So I actually don't have a large, I don't think, portfolio of many different streams of income. And I'm really kind of at the beginning of my journey with it. And I'm going to be really honest with you now, if you don't mind. Comment yes, if that's okay with you. Because to be honest with you, then I've got to like take you back to 2014, I think, when I started to earn like pretty big money. I remember the other day I started talking about it and I couldn't remember the second figure, which was really annoying, but I'll try. I remember, I think if you've not had money before, like I grew up in a really like well-off family. They're down to earth on another level of down to earth, bordering on common, some might say. I was born in like Corporation Road, Newport, which is not like a great area. I loved it. I still love it. But like, it's not like, you know, oh, Corporation Road. It's Corper. So I'm not from, mum and dad didn't come from money. Dad had a business. And there's an amazing story actually about when dad got £1 an hour pay rise and how it was taken off him, and that resulted in him building his business, which I'll tell you another day. But we grew up watching dad work really, really hard. And also, mum and dad overspent at one point. She'll tell you dad went away. She sold the house, the caravan, because they had it on tick, they called it, hire purchase, I think. When that first sort of became popular, or to them at least, they had a caravan, they had a car, they had a house that they couldn't really afford. And they sold that from this really nice village locally. And they went to a terraced house or whatever. So they kind of went backwards. But mum was like, no, we're not stressing ourselves out. This is what we're doing. And then from there, they bought a lovely house in the countryside, which I can see from my front door when it's light. And it's an old police station. And the rest, as they say, is history. We've had a wonderful, wonderful life. And because my dad's business, mum worked hard supporting him, doing all his finances and invoices and looking after us kids, of course. Hardest job in the world. So we haven't just sort of come from money, as in I didn't have an allowance. Mum and dad didn't give me money, but they did have a property in Manchester. I rented it off them. And I know they only bought it to kind of help me out because I couldn't afford to buy a house. So I feel like I grew up really lucky. But I never had money myself. So I worked in the police and I was earning £1,600 a month. And I just thought that was really just as good as it was going to get, if I'm honest. Anyone else feel like that? As good as it was going to get, or where you are right now is probably just as good as it's going to get. You just can't see it massively soaring higher or getting back to where you were even, Jack. Or sometimes you just can't see it. You just lose the vision. You're like, God, I just don't know. I just don't know. Don't know how this is going to work out. I felt like that. When I was pregnant, 30 weeks pregnant, I just thought, oh, God. I've told the story a million times how I went into network marketing. So how I started and becoming an entrepreneur, and the money was crazy to me. I thought it was absolutely mental. Now I have to do this disclaimer thing. Network marketing, it's actually a highly regulated industry, and you can't basically say I earn all this a month and I don't have to do any work and it's really easy and everyone can do it. And not everyone does it. In fact, it's 1% or something of people earn the top money, but I believe that's just the percentages of life, right? 1% of the population and 90% of the money. It's because those people are willing, they have a level of desire that's bigger than other people for whatever reason. And you can not have that desire, but then choose to have that desire. So everyone can kind of go for that, but not everyone will want that at all. And that's just percentages of life. But in network marketing, we have to say that incomes aren't promised, I think. You've got to work really hard for them. Not many people achieve them and all that stuff. So I earned £324, £1,521. That's the one I couldn't remember. £324, £1,521, 3,016, 4,337, 6,457, 11,090. That was my first 6 months in network marketing. And after that, it went wild. We still have. We had annual bonuses, and for the first couple of years, I worked really, really hard, and I qualified for massive bonuses. So it worked out. I earned in my second full year, I earned over 100,000 a month, which was amazing. The reason why I talk about this kind of money is because it's still only one stream of income. Now, network marketing is a business. It's an industry, but it's no different to anything else. It's based on retail sales and building a sales team. And that's the same for me. I just think of it in the same way that, I sell my planners and I have a team of people. I have my courses and I've got a sales team. I would build any business and employ some employees on a Saturday. It's exactly like that. Does that make sense to you? And even if you don't know what network marketing is, for me, that's exactly what it is. You build a sales team to share the same products. You give them the training and the coaching and the guidance and the mentorship, and you're rewarded for that, for the time and effort that you put in. The great thing about network marketing is it can become one of those things that is a passive income. And at the moment, it's my most passive income, I would say, that I have in my kind of business portfolio, or my streams of income. So I have my network marketing income. Those things can go up and down, but I've got a really stable business. And so it's Joe from the sales team. I'm like, How am I commenting? Because it's Joe. So for the last few years, I've been able to, and my income's dropped a bit. It's also risen. Like this month, it's a couple of grand higher than it was last month, and we had a great new product come in which made a difference. But I haven't put any more hours into my business, and I do think that's a really powerful industry. I'm always grateful to network marketing, and I love it. Network marketing led me on to entrepreneurship, really. It made me realize that money is more of a mindset than anything else, but it's also a skill set. And lots of people try and just talk about the one thing, which is like, oh, it's just all in how you think about money. Well, yeah, but you've got to know what you've got to do to earn it, haven't you? Because you can be sat in the place earning £1,600 a month thinking about bigger incomes and thinking that it's coming to you and all this stuff and manifesting it and whatever. But if you're taking no steps in order to achieve that, then it's just never going to happen. That's just wishful thinking. Some might say deluded, but I wouldn't be so harsh. But it is. If I'd have just sat there in the police, not taking any action moving forwards, and then going like, oh, but I really want to earn more, then that would just be futile. When I learned about being an entrepreneur, I realized very much about multiple streams of incomes being important, because just like network marketing is an industry, so is oil and gas, so is electric. Those industries, everything goes up and down, right? Especially when you're self-employed, you're an entrepreneur. Most of the time, you're the captain of the ship, so you decide whether you go faster or slower. And your income might reflect this. It might not. Like if you've got a seasoned network marketing business like mine, it's been around, 8.5, nearly 10 years, really, give or take. And so, it's quite consistent. It does go up and down, but it's fairly consistent. Then that's a great stream of income. And then it got me thinking about the next stream. And if I'm honest, completely honest, I said this on my stories this evening, go and have a watch of those, but like I get bored. I get a 7-year itch in jobs, careers, where I feel like I kind of know my stuff now with this, and I need to be challenged. Like one of my things is I have an insatiable appetite to learn. Like I want to learn. I want to get better in sales. I want to get better in marketing. I want to get better at coaching people. I want to get better at building businesses. I want to do all of these things. And so sometimes I can get like a little bit bored. The great thing for me about other coaching people to have multiple streams of income, also coaching others, I get that insatiable appetite to like do different things through other people. So through helping somebody build their clothes shop, helping somebody else build their events business, like I was helping Louise today. So I kind of get that itch out by helping other people in different industries, but I also have my own multiple streams. So with my network marketing income, that can range, and I have income from different countries coming in. They don't go in one payment, so I earn around 10 to 15, I would like to say, per month, with all the other countries coming in, and then obviously I get my annual bonus check on top. And then my next stream of income, which I obviously started building back in 2015, but I made a lot of mistakes. Like we had a printing error one year, we ordered way too many another year. I wasn't very seasoned in building businesses, and I had no mentor. I didn't know coaches were around, otherwise I totally would have got one. I didn't know any of this stuff existed, so I was really forging my way in business as an entrepreneur, making mistakes blindly, running into brick walls, losing money, and trying to build that back up, learning my mistake, going on to the next thing, the next challenge would happen. And so now I can say I've made all the mistakes. I'll probably continue to make some more, but what that means is I can help you guys not make the mistakes because I make more. And so I built up that planner, and again, I shared on my stories that we had one of our best launch periods of like nearly 120 grand. So I was really, really pleased with that, and that brings us in, and depending what time of the year it is, but we'd say like 4,000 a month on average after the launch period. Then so it's like an income. What's it called? Returning income. Now, that's my pro planner. What I decided to do then was once that I got that running and all the systems and processes were in place, and it kind of runs itself. I mean, don't get me wrong, nothing completely runs itself. There's customer services, there's the shipping stuff, is logistics has been a nightmare since Brexit. So all of that takes time, but Sean mainly heads that up and answers emails and things like that, and does the packing and the shipping. And then I decided to go and build the next side of my business, which is the coaching. This was to satisfy an itch. As I itch, it was something that I really, really wanted to do, and I love helping people, and I am obsessed with business. And so this was part of the time that after losing Nicola, I really reassessed and thought, like, wow, what the hell's going to make me happy? I didn't feel happy. Also, network marketing, my business, I built alongside my sister from, I don't want to say day one, but I think it was like day 120 or something that she joined. And we've done it together. And it feels kind of painful to kind of try and do the same thing without her. So it was either a case of making it different or moving forward, just putting a bit of focus on a different part of my business for a little bit of time until the pain eases, really. And so that's where I am. And that's why I started my coaching business for a few reasons, because I've done a lot of courses and I've noticed that, like, on each at the time, there was something a little bit missing for me, that I didn't feel like it quite taught everyone everything. But that's because they were different courses for different things, and I completely understand that. And they were all amazing, to be fair. I've done some really, I say they're all amazing. Some of them weren't so amazing. But I would say 8 out of 10 were really valuable, and I've learned loads from them. So I'm really grateful that I found them, or people have mentioned them to me, and I've gone ahead and done that. But as a result of that, I set up my coaching. And that this month, I haven't started actually my courses. No payments have come in for my courses as yet, because I haven't sent out the links. By the way, if you are one of the students in the first enrollment, there's a maximum of 25 people, which I haven't filled it up yet, because it will be whoever pays, obviously, when the links go out and things like that, and bags the spots. But that's going to be capped at 25. But alongside that, I have my Impact Academy, which is a monthly membership group, which I absolutely love. I love my Monday evenings with them. It's amazing. And that's brought in like a regular income, as well as the odd different course that I have done that's been appropriate for certain kinds of people. But next Wednesday, I've got a free webinar. If you don't know about it, have a look on my page. It's the Super Recruiter webinar. At the end of that webinar, I'll be sharing a mini course. I say mini course, it's not mini course, it's like full of everything you need to be an amazing recruiter, like word for word, what I use, the structure, the system, how I follow up, what I say, how often I say it, and it's awesome. And that is going to be launched at the end of my webinar. And so that isn't included with the income at the moment. And then after that, there'll be a special offer on that Wednesday, and then it'll be the normal price, and it'll just be on my website on emmacooperonline.com, and then you'll be able to find it there. I love my Monday nights too, Peg. And that will be another thing that the courses can kind of run on autopilot. So I'm always thinking about these multiple streams of income, doing things that make my heart sing. So they're really in alignment with what I love to do and what makes my heart sing. And while I'm telling you this, I want you to really think about what makes your heart sing, and maybe how you could help other people. Or maybe you've always had a business idea. You're like, do you know what? Is this any good? Would this be any good? Could I build it? Feel free to get into my inbox and ask me, and ask my opinion. You don't have to take it, but sometimes it's good to kind of thrash it out, because I'm more than happy to chat about that. I live for business. So if you've got a question to ask, or you're wondering if a business will work, or you're wondering if you should go in a certain direction, feel free to, as I said, jump in my inbox, and I will gladly have a chat to you about it. But as a result of starting that arm of my coaching, my emmacooperonline.com, the CEO school, you might have seen it. That brings in, the last couple of months, £7,000 to £8,500 pounds. And do you know what's weird is that I didn't actually realise I had done that until I actually checked the account. And I said to Sean, like, oh my gosh, it didn't feel like, I didn't think I would have built that already. It didn't feel like, to be honest, I'd worked hard enough to do it. But it does feel like they've given an awful lot of value. So suppose it makes sense. But I believe when you're doing something that's in alignment with what you're really good at, what is natural, what is really, really helping people, then it's almost like the difference between people who choose to like walk along in the airport or get on that travelator thing that you're still walking, but it's just so much easier. You know, you travel further, you're doing the same amount of steps, but you're just getting further. I feel like when you know the step by steps of a business and how to build it, that's what happens. You like get on this travelator. And sometimes the opposite to this travelator, hey Ben, the opposite to this travelator is like walking through mud. It's flipping hard work. And you're like, this can't be how I build a business. Sometimes you're maybe lacking a bit of knowledge, or maybe you just don't have the step by steps. Like, what's the next thing I need to do? And then once I've done that, what's the next thing after that? And then once I've done that, how do I keep building it further? And then how do I? And I believe that if you have those step by steps, it makes it a lot faster. And then it's like you're on that travelator. So I feel like that's what I've kind of done with my coaching business, and to build up that nearly 6 figures, it really, isn't it? Within, a month, and I haven't started doing my courses yet. I'm open now, Louise. So Louise has asked, when you open up for more people? I'm open now, but you would have to pop me an inbox because it's only suitable for certain people. And as most of you already know by now, like I'm never going to say to you, like, yes, I think the course is for you, if it's definitely not for you. And so it'd be easier to have a chat in my inbox, and myself or one of my team will answer that and figure out if it's for you, and maybe we jump on a call, or maybe not. They can direct you to either something else or somebody else, because it might be that, maybe I'm not the person for you. What makes your belly button laugh? Not a right lot, just a little tickle at the moment. I'm carrying a bit of weight. Already did that, Lou. Waiting for an email. Okay, amazing. Okay, we'll get back to you. No problem. So, and then I obviously have, we own property, and I also have, Sean has a business called My Pro Print, which we do embroidery, printing, clothing, printing, embroidery, and design. Notice it's Sean's thing, and he gets really busy with that. So we have these different streams of income, but it's important for me that when you're looking to do a business, it's or maybe it's your first business, or you're just looking to start out, that you master one first. But most businesses, if you have the step by step, if you know each step of the process to take, you can build any business in any industry. I promise you this. One of the things that a lot of people miss out, and please comment and let me know if you find this, is that they'll tell you how to start a business. They'll tell you how to set up a business. They'll tell you how to market a business online. They'll tell you how to create a course. They'll tell you how to launch. But nobody ever, and I haven't found it anywhere, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I've never found it where somebody, because people leave these courses and they're like, I set it up, I did this, I did that, I didn't make any sales. And that's always like, obviously, the marketing of it. But I know it starts before then. It's the building an audience, because if you're marketing to nobody, nobody's seeing it. I feel like a massive part of what is missed out is how to build an audience organically at first, because it doesn't, you don't want it to cost you anything. People don't really know how to network online. Oh, Dawn, I'm so putting your comment up. Yeah. And I know she's only on the cup of tea. Love you. So, Ben, you're strange. So, this is why, by the way, if you can't see why Ben's strange, like, saying strange asking me to laugh hard. I can't do that, Ben, on demand. Strange. So, I know that the biggest challenge is to build an audience of the desired people that you want to see your product or your service. It's the hardest thing. And yet, I always give a couple of examples for this. I'm going to leave you with these because I want you to think about these. The first one is that you can have the cure for cancer, which for me, and for anybody who's probably had it in their life, and if you haven't, I think it's probably the most desired product. It's the most desired product. We really want one. And somebody could already have it, but if they tell nobody, if they market that to a load of healthy people who have got no desire to look after themselves or no care for anybody who's got cancer, then no one's going to know about it. You would have to tell people who have an interest in the cure for cancer that they have the cure for cancer in order for that to, find the right people. And it's no different with you and your products or your services. Likewise, I want to take water. Now, I talked about this at the Somerset Mums Business Club the other morning. I think it was yesterday, actually. It just seems to have gone fast this week. I talked about this the other day, and it's really something to consider. When I'm thinking about whether I can start a business and make it successful in any arena, I always think about water. I know you're like, water? Is she for real? When she's drinking wine? So, let me just explain this to you. If somebody was to come to you right now, forget you knew about water and that we buy it in the bucket load, in plastic cartons of all things, from service stations and anywhere we can pick it up. Forget that. And if someone came to you and said, I'm thinking about starting a business where, that thing that comes into your home, it's unlimited. You don't really have to pay much for it. It's kind of free. You get it absolutely unlimited. You can take it out of your house in... Oh, Ben, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, love. I just didn't want to laugh on demand. Sorry, darling. So instead of thinking, oh my gosh, so how on earth could I build a business when the thing that I want to sell is already going into people's homes, unlimited, on tap, literally, so they don't really need to buy my product? Like, you could be a victim of that kind of mentality where you think that that's just how it is. But that's not how it is it? Because there are water companies starting every single day, and they're really successful. And sometimes you and I might fall victim of those, really good marketing situations where you go into a restaurant and you probably pay like 15 or 20 quid for a glass bottle with Voss on the side and a grey top, which has got exactly the same thing in as what, comes out of the tap or comes out of another bottle that's like half the price. But it's marketing. It's marketed well. So I really want you to consider that. I want you to consider the fact that people are starting businesses every day, selling things to people that we get free, coming into our home every single day. And yet you might be worried about your business and whether you can be successful, whether you can get to that money goal, or whether you can get to the bigger goal, which is that maybe it's time, maybe it's freedom, maybe it's something really specific and particular. Yeah, maybe it's all of those things. Used to work for Eden Springs, rang their sales call center. See what I mean? It's water. They've got a call center with loads of staff that they keep in jobs and incomes. Isn't that crazy? It's water. It comes into your house. Get it from the stream outside. Actually, I've got a well in my garden, but the pump is broke, so I don't use it. But yeah, that's crazy. So when you're doubting, I want you to think of water. Anyway, I've had 3 sips of wine, and I might just go to bed. And we've talked for long enough. But I hope I've given you some food for thought. First of all, like thinking about where journeys start, they're never where they end. You never go never normally go full circle, do you? You're normally like doing what you're doing, getting the challenges, overcoming them, moving on to the next step, overcoming them, moving on to the next step, and so on and so forth. And that normally builds a business. If you're learning the step-by-step of building a business, you'll find that you can apply this to any Hey, Andre, you'll find that you can apply this to any business in any industry and you'll be able to build a successful business. And that's what I found. I just found the step-by-step that I needed to do. And I've actually got it here because I've been doing some slides and putting all things together ready for my signature course, the Business Growth Accelerator, which is literally everything, the A to Z of getting your business built, from the mindset and the strategy of building a business and sales, of finding your niche and your ideal clients, working out where your ideal audience are hanging out online, working out how you can organically network with them, how you can continue to build your audience. Most people get the biggest mistake is that they stop building their audience and they just focus on sales, at which point they're just trying to sell to the same audience over and over. And we always need that lead generation, those new people coming in. You can do that organically or you can do it paid. It's up to you. Then I talk you through how to sell on socials using every single way, but in a really professional and expert way with a great strategy. And so you are planning content that gives you that time leverage in your business. Right the way through to automating some of those things within your business that will give you that extra time, creating an email sequence, automating that, how to build an email list, social media marketing, checklists, scripts, and special tips and tricks that I've learned along the way that have saved me a massive amount of time in my business. So if you're interested in that Business Growth Accelerator, do reach out to me. And also, I've sent out an email this evening. You might be a little bit too late, but over the next couple of days, you'll be getting some emails from me, some lessons in business that I've learned. You can sign up to that on emmacooperonline.com/email. Thank you for sharing a wine or a cuppa or a water, Peg, with me this evening. Cheers, everybody. Take care, and I look forward to chatting to lots of you in my inbox, I'm sure, very soon. Take care. Good night.